Commissioner, I think a good place to start here, our talk today, is about transportation with the Spaghetti Bowl, the busiest intersection in Nevada, behind us here. I know yourself, RTC Director Tina Quigley, Congresswoman Dita Titus, and all the other stakeholders here in Clark County recently met with Transportation Secretary Anthony Fox. Tell me a little bit about that discussion.
It was a great meeting that we had with Secretary Fox. I really appreciate Congresswoman Titus putting the meeting together. You had a lot of the community industry leaders, some elected officials there. It was nice to hear his perspective. And the difficulty that we're running into is as our need increases, as population has grown and our traffic jams have grown and clogged up a little bit, the federal funding has decreased, which makes it very, very difficult. At one time, they were funding 80-90% of potential projects, whether that be light rail, that be new expansions, whatnot. Now you're down into 40-50% if you can even get funding. So it's a significant impact on communities such as Clark County as we move forward and try to resolve some of these traffic issues that we're facing.
And I'm sure one of the questions you must get asked is light rail transit. I'm sure visitors and locals alike wonder if the monorail would ever be extended from the Strip to McCarran Airport or perhaps to downtown. How do we talk about that?
That's talked about pretty regularly, and I know that's something that the RTC has been pushing a little bit. Chairman Brown of the RTC is talking about that. It's a great concept, but what you have to look at, and these ideas that get floated out there, whether I know at one time she talked about subways and light rail and elevated rail and these sort of things, you're talking about billions of dollars, literally tens of billions of dollars, not counting the operating costs to put these things in. Now, it's great in an ideal world if you had unlimited money to spend on projects, you create jobs, you solve some of the transportation problems. But we don't have those kind of funds. We simply don't have those kind of funds. We can't put that burden on our taxpayers. So we have to kind of adopt a go along slowly approach. It's more the tortoise and the hare thing. We have to make slow, steady progress at these. Come up with some of the projects that are more affordable, I think, at the beginning. Get the pedestrians, as we're talking about on the Strip, off the Strip, the same level as the traffic, and hopefully make it a safer commute. Unfortunately, some of these bottlenecks are just really, really expensive to fix. And in time, could it happen? Absolutely. But I think we need to be realistic and not build up people's expectations as it comes to those issues.
Of course, much of District A is Las Vegas Boulevard and the Strip, and keeping people safe on there, as you alluded to, is vital. We recently had a tragic fatal accident on the Strip there, and it becomes perception or it becomes news around the world whether the Strip is safe or isn't safe. So I know you and your colleagues have put a lot of money and a lot of effort into keeping things safe out there, but it is vital.
We're continuing to put a lot of effort and money and time and resources into keeping the Strip safe, but you're absolutely right. Anytime something happens on that 4 or 5 mile stretch, whether it was the palm trees that caught on fire, whether it was this situation of the vehicle going up on the sidewalk, hitting the people, it instantly becomes not just national, it's international news in a matter of minutes because people are so familiar with Las Vegas. We're doing everything we possibly can. There's, tens of thousands of feet of roadway there that you can't ballard everything off. You cannot make it impenetrable to a vehicle unless you take all vehicles off Las Vegas Boulevard, and that's simply not a realistic option here. People like the Las Vegas Boulevard experience to be able to walk back and forth, to transgress, and to see the things that are outside, whether it's a fountain, whether it's a volcano, those sort of things. People like that and they like the interaction, but we need to do more. We've done a lot, but we need to do more to encourage the safety and pedestrian flow on Las Vegas Boulevard.
I've seen yourself being interviewed several times just talking about the hypotheticals of hoverboards now. A year, 2, 3 years ago, these things didn't even exist, and now there's some dangers where these things occasionally catch fire. And do we legislate about hoverboards and things like that, Commissioner?
That's a real issue. We haven't had it yet. We don't allow them at McCarran Airport. I mean, that's one place that they haven't been allowed is McCarran Airport. You do see them. The hoverboards have become very, very popular. I've seen a new mode of transportation since the CES, which is like a little wheel that you balance on. It's an individual one wheel that's it was really fast. I saw one young gentleman riding the thing he was on Las Vegas Boulevard. I don't know if he should have been on Las Vegas Boulevard, but those are the things they came up with originally with the Segway way back, with people having those out there. And we don't know what the next mode of transportation is going to be. You look back at the old Jetson cartoon series and people had backpacks that were flying around. I don't know what's going to be next. I mean, clearly transportation is a problem all over the country, all over the world. Las Vegas Boulevard is a mainstay for us. I mean, that's our lifeline, that 5 mile stretch there. We'll continue to be on the cutting edge in terms of safety and improvements to make it better for everybody.
Something else it's impossible to ignore. In fact, I think we did our last In Your Neighborhood with you, Commissioner, out at the Las Vegas Arena, now the T-Mobile Arena, which that will be a game changer on the south end of the Strip. And once again, everyone I talk to, and I'm sure people that are asking you and Commissioner Scow, who represents the district, is the number one question, probably parking?
Yeah, there's some concerns about parking. I think MGM has been absolutely terrific. I met with them this week regarding the parking situation out at the T-Mobile Arena. They've got some plans that they'll be unveiling in the very near future. Might even be by the time this show is airing. MGM's got some plans. They've got some options that they plan to do for both parking and traffic to alleviate some of the concerns that are coming up with people. I think it's an absolutely great facility. I've had the opportunity to see it. It's going to bring an awful lot of new attractions and acts to Las Vegas that hadn't been here before, that people are going to have a chance to see. They're going to have a chance to experience things previously we hadn't done. That's save and except hockey. We're still pulling for hockey and pushing for hockey, and I've talked to Mr. Foley and the Maloofs, and they're 100% on board and doing everything they possibly can. So we've got some big options coming up in the months ahead.
Let's talk just for a second about hockey. I believe the last thing is that the NHL is talking expansion again. Do you have any other insight you can bring to us?
No, the NHL is playing it pretty close to the vest. They're holding the cards pretty close. There's a lot of discussion. There's some disagreement amongst the owners in terms of the number of teams, if they want to expand, revenue sharing, drafts, those sort of things. You're getting in the technicalities as it relates to that. The one thing I can attest to is Bill Foley is 100% committed to bringing a hockey team to Clark County. And he gave me that commitment. I mean, we're working with him on various options, the potential of a practice facility being located in my district technically, and that would be a community facility that would be for youth hockey and young adult hockey leagues. And so we've got some good things going.
What else over there, Commissioner? I know there's other development there. Just in addition to the arena, there's going to be shopping and other entertainment in that area. What other types of things are coming to the plate on that?
We've had a lot come out in that area. UFC is opening up their new training headquarters facility out there that they've just broken ground on. The whole South Beltway, the 215 Beltway, has become a nexus for major development, whether it's car dealerships, some mixed residential developments, some apartments are moving in there, a little bit more shopping moving in there, some big tilt-up warehouse spaces going in. With the sale of IGT on Buffalo, that's going to change things in the area in terms of what new tenants are going to get brought into there. So a lot is happening in the Southwest Valley in particular.
Commissioner, I know last year you had a chance to be in the Southwest Valley, also our good friends at Opportunity Village. Shawns Park, Sean Morrissey and his dad, Mr. Morrissey, are fantastic people, and it looks like this spring that park is going to open. County's kicked in a couple $1 million, and that's going to be a game changer for a lot of folks at Opportunity Village.
The all-access park, Shawns Park as it's going to be called, is something I've dreamed about. I mean, it's really important to me to give everybody the experience regarding physical disabilities or what they might have to some of the things that exist. Something as simple as a swing set, as a merry-go-round. And Sean is just an absolute inspiration. If you haven't got to meet him, hopefully people can stop out at the park. And he's a star. You get to talk to him. He's very active in the arts department out there. But I deal with Opportunity Village regularly. They're beginning on their housing that they're going to have for their clients, that they're going to be able to provide long-term housing for some of the folks. They're going to build some residential units across the street from where the campus is, which is really encouraging. But Shawns Park is a few short months away. Once it warms up a little bit here, you'll be able to come out there and actually see it. And some of the things that they're offering are really, really exciting for people that have some of the disabilities, and to let them experience what other children and other folks have been able to experience their entire lives. So it's something I'm very, very proud of, and I think the county is, again, on the forefront in terms of an all-access park.
And similarly, I know you and RTC Chairman Commissioner Brown recently were there on the opening of the RTC Mobility Training Center in District A on Sunset. And this place is really going to help seniors and also folks with disabilities as far as public transit goes.
Oh, it's absolutely terrific what they've got there. They've got an actual streetscape inside of the building with buses there that people can practice getting on and off of the buses. The different pavements, whether it's asphalt, it's concrete, it's pavers that are available, so they can see how to push the button to get the street signs to go on for walk, and how to time crossing the streets. There's an actual small house built inside of the building so that those with disabilities can experience getting out of the house, getting out of the bedroom, the bathroom, getting over to where the bus stop is, and how to actually board a bus to make it available. I mean, we've got a big valley to be able to transverse, and if people can get on public transportation and get around, it's a great flexibility for them, and it's a freedom. It's a freedom to be able to move around and experience things that otherwise they wouldn't have the ability and the pleasure to do.